Let's talk about a guy who didn't feel appreciated. All right? Allegedly. I don't know. I haven't listened to the clip yet in its entirety, but it does sound like Baker Mayfield is done with his time in the Cleveland Browns, whether the Cleveland Browns like it or not. He was on the You Never Know podcast, YNK, with Mike Stud. I can't make the sound he makes, but he's an incredible musician who is friends with a lot of these guys, has a great podcast over there. Baker Mayfield stopped by the couch with either his dog or Mike Stud's dog, not giving a single fucking sleeping the entire time, and he had this to say about his time in Cleveland.
Right now is like, I really, truly, honestly have no regrets of my time in Cleveland, of what I tried to give to that place.
Right.
And true Clevelanders and true Browns fans know that. And that's why I can walk away from the whole situation feeling like I did it.
And now, do you feel like the way the office has handled it has been disrespectful to you, given where you came in and where they are now? And
I mean, yeah, the respect thing is like, it's all going to be like a personal opinion.
Yeah,
like,
and
I feel disrespected, 100%. Because I was told one thing and they completely did another. That's what I'm in the middle of right now. And you know what? Okay, I got my taste of it because I've had 4 different head coaches in 4 years, a bunch of different coordinators. I've had, talk about the highs. They always come back. Mm-hmm. They always come back.
Always. Yeah.
But like, I mean, I had great times my rookie year. Like I didn't start in the beginning. I came in and got to have fun the back half of the year. 2019 sucked. 2020 was great. Made the playoff. 2021 was miserable. It's like,
yeah.
I'm just looking for stabilization right now, and like I know what I need to do for me to be the best version of me, and to be able to lead an organization. And like, I'm in a good place right now.
Right.
Where like, I have no clue where I'm going.
All right, well, we just obviously credit Mike Stud. Zito dropped in the middle of that video and did not expect that.
What are you laughing about?
Well, I was like, hey, we need to give credit to these people. You Never Know podcast, like we need to give them credit. Zito just got it from a tweeter from YouTube or whatever. So he tried to drop a credit in the middle of that, and I think Zito just panicked and he didn't know exactly who. So we apologize. We appreciate them doing that. With Baker's conversation, I mean, everything he's saying there is valid, right? But a lot of people would say you're the quarterback of the team, so the ups and downs is, more so on your shoulders than anybody else's. But 4 different head coaches, bunch of different coordinators. I can understand how he feels the way he feels and why he feels the way he feels, but this is a business, like that. This is what this is. There's a chance you're going to get fucked over, and that's just, a part of it. I guess he's got to buy into it. It happens at every other position on a very regular basis where they bring in somebody or they say, hey, you're going to be with us next year. Then they bring somebody in that's younger, cheaper, better, or whatever, and you're just kind of a side thought. This happens in the NFL a lot, in the entire roster. I feel like it is just a very normal thing. But for Baker, with everything that happened last year with the injury, him playing through it, broken humerus, torn labrum, had an entire brace on that he wasn't able to throw. Then they say, hey, you're in our plans. We're going to have you play another year next year. Then boom, they drop the biggest, most guaranteed money contract on somebody that didn't even get to play last year because of a lot of shit happening off the field. Baker Mayfield was just, I fucking hate this place. That's what and he didn't say that in so many words. You could see how he feels that way. But once again, you're going to hear a lot of people say, this is the fucking NFL, dude. Like, that's just the kind of how it goes every once in a while, especially if you're not winning Super Bowls or playoff games every single year.
It's cold business, man. It truly is. It's a business. They're not, unfortunately, your feelings don't matter. And that's why it's a big bonus that you get paid a ton of money. Everybody who plays in the league gets paid a bunch of money. Quarterbacks more than anybody else. But yeah, I guess the hard thing is any professional athlete, you're not going to get sympathy from people.
Anybody.
No matter what happens, like with your professional life, even like horrendous, terrible things. You have an injury your first year that your career is over. Yeah, you feel awful. That person's dream is gone. But people obviously that have real issues in life trying to fight to survive or fight to put food on the table. Yeah, you're not gonna gain much sympathy. That's the hard thing, no matter when you're in Baker's situation.
And once again, I don't think Baker's asking for sympathy, by the way. He was just answering a question on how he felt.
I give him credit for being honest because
Yes.
he's true. I think a lot of people would feel the way he does. I'm not saying you need to. Everyone would come out and say that, but I'm giving him credit for telling us, yeah, I feel super disrespected.
Yeah, and I honestly, once again, I don't think he was doing it as a cry for like attention or anything like that. I think he was just talking and addressing it. They were running that video on SportsCenter. I seen it whenever we went out to the break. This is going to be a big conversation piece in our world for now because we had been wondering since the Baker Mayfield's team has requested a trade from the Cleveland Browns. And then this is before they signed Deshaun Watson, while they're still negotiating probably with Deshaun Watson. The Cleveland Browns have anonymously said, "We don't give a fuck if Baker Mayfield wants to be traded." And then Baker's team responds with, "We feel like the relationship is too far gone. We'll never be able to get it. We will still be asking for a trade." And the Browns said, "We don't give a fuck." Also, Deshaun Watson, we just signed for $230 million. That was literally within like a 24-hour period. All of that just happened. And now they're like, well, we might need Baker to play, actually, because we don't know if Deshaun's going to be able to play. It's like, wow, this is very public, very interesting. There's a lot of emotions, and there's a lot of money and future, livelihoods on the line here. Appreciate Baker going in there and talking, though, for sure. And I can kind of understand where he's coming from, but also the fucking NFL is a business, and it needs to be looked at as such.
These guys didn't draft him either. Sorry, these guys did not draft him either. He was drafted by another front office.
I was told by somebody, hey, remember, they didn't draft you. There is zero allegiances to you, is what I was told. And I was like, oh, great. This is a good relationship. Seems like this is going to go well.
Yeah, your success doesn't go on their resume, really.
Yeah, like, actually, we'd rather get a new guy who broke all your records, because then, we got him. We replaced that guy. But yeah, I mean, I guess we'll franchise tag you for another year. All right, thanks. This relationship's going to go great, I can tell. Go ahead, Diggs.
Baker was also asked where he thought he was going to play next, and then he said this would have been a week and a half ago, would have said Indianapolis, but then he said Seattle was probably the most likely option now, even though he has no idea.
Okay, so that's like if he was to play somewhere, where he would like to play.
Yeah, give me DK Metcalf.
Yeah, get Ty Lockett.
Didn't he say something about going to some like cubicles of writers?
Yeah, he said he wanted to
boo the shit out of him.
Boo him as in scare him?
No. Like, I think like boo him, like tell them they stink at their job, like everybody does to him, like handling that basically as I think in life.
Not like a boo.
It's the Baker goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a ghoul, I don't think.
I know. I thought he said he'd want to show up and physically assault them. That's what I thought he was talking about.
Oh, no. I think he was talking about how people are just okay to say whatever they want to athletes, whenever they want, however they want, even though the athlete is much better than them probably in the sport that they're talking about and life and business and everything. But you could tell them that they're the worst human on the earth because they threw an interception with a brace on with it. In that sport, hey, that's, by the way, that's also the NFL.
Yeah, that's right.
So I appreciate Baker being very honest about all these things. His thoughts are a lot of people's thoughts. But once again, to your point, like nobody's going to give a fuck.
It's an uphill battle. It's definitely an uphill battle for you.
And he's not asking. I would like to. We do not believe that he's going on this podcast to ask for like, hey, feel bad for something. I think he's just finally getting his side of everything out there.
I think you guys came up with a great idea. Progressive or whoever it is, now that he's not on the Browns, won't be on the Browns anymore. His ghost should be in the stadium, in the house.
Oh, the ghost of Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. And there should and they should have Deshaun should be in that house now, and Baker's haunting him.
Ooh,
insurance against ghosts.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. Don't check any of the closets though.
No. Find that. Hey, who's that cop that formed tackled him too? Get that guy.
Fine.
What's that, buddy?
I said, get that cop that formed tackled him back in the day too. Bring him in the commercial.
That really. I see it in my head as soon as you mention it. By the way, as soon as you
I'm just happy he's alive, man. His head could have smoked that big old curve and been dead.
Now, hindsight, if we're Baker, he could have went up and out. He would have got, right?
I mean, that dude was on him. That dude closed very quickly.
Yeah, but it was like me tackling Trendon Holiday. That guy only had one line that he could have got. If Baker stutter steps there, I think, you think
you could stutter step in that situation on a dime?
We're talking about a guy trying to run from the cops while hammered drunk. I've never attempted to do it. What's that? Zito just said, do you want the video? No, we all know it. Baker doesn't deserve it. He's
going through
He's going through some shit right now. Hopefully he ends up in a home and plays great football. I want him to make $1 billion. I want everybody to do that.
He'll be somewhere. He'll be in the league.